So measuring outcomes on streaming TV is a bit more difficult than measuring outcomes on, like, say, display or banner advertising. That's because on connected TV, the ad exposure happens on a different device that the action that you want to drive usually takes place in, which is usually your desktop or your mobile app. Whereas in the banner advertising, there might be some cross-device, see the ad on a mobile and make the purchase on a desktop. But a lot of it also happens on the same device. But the realm of the devices that you are tracking to tie ad exposure to conversion is simpler. It is also a environment where third-party cookies dominate. So in the news, Google just backed down from deprecating third-party cookies. However, in certain ecosystems like iOS, third-party cookies are by default deprecated. Mobile IDs are usually not shared. So there are some complexities around it as well. But as a whole, it's a different cross-device problem that you're solving when you're doing streaming TV ad exposure to an action that happens on the desktop. Third-party attribution is much easier on same device situations. Third-party cookies can easily track you across a publisher to a publisher site to an advertiser site. When people thought that third-party cookies were going away, they replaced it with deterministic universal identifiers, such as the ramp ID or the UUID. They essentially function in a very similar way, except they hash identity or they anonymize identity. So CTV is a little bit different because you do have to rely on a household graph that maps the devices across a household, and you need to have a large enough household graph to be able to do this deterministically, so that you're detecting ad exposure and you understand, hey, this person actually converted on a website on a laptop that belongs to the same household. So CTV is different from measuring cost per actions or cost per conversions in the display world, because the ad exposure happens on TVs and the action actually takes place on desktops. And in the TV world, there are no such thing as third-party cookies. They're usually device identifiers and household IP addresses. So what's important in this world is that you have a large enough household and viewership graph to be able to deterministically understand and tie ad exposure from the connected TV to the conversion or action event that happens on the desktop or mobile device. And all of this is happening deterministically, which is quite different from what happens in traditional TV, which is much more probabilistic. In that world, you're just looking at correlations. Hey, if people were exposed to the ad, is there a jump in actions, in the desired actions, within the 15 minutes of ad exposure?